Guys, today we're going to be making leather bags for carrying bombs specifically. Just kidding, for carrying items. And they're gonna look somewhat like this. And let's just get started. To get started on our leather bag, we're going to need three things. Some leather, preferably a big piece, some leather hole punches. This is like a 1.5 millimeter hole punch, I think. And we need some fabric scissors. They're normally the ones with the orange handles. They don't look the same as paper scissors. Do not cut paper with these scissors, it ruins them. To start out, you need to find an edge of your leather, like I have right here. And you need to cut out a big square. So I'm going to trim this. You need to cut out a big square of leather. You actually need to cut out two squares. This is a square. I already cut out. This is going to be the front side of the bag. And then this is going to be the back. The back you want to have like 3 to 5 inches longer than the first square. You want it to be the same width as the first square. Once you have cut out two fairly large squares of leather, you need to line them up like this. This is a different square, and then this is the smaller square, and this is the bigger one. You want to put the smaller one's going to be the front, and then this is going to be the top. And each side has different textures. You can choose the texture you want to have, because that's what happens when leather gets tan. I'm going to put the inside part of the leather as the inside of the bag because it's softer, and if I carry things, it's going to not hurt it. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to want to line it up. Leave a little bit on the end. This is good, having a little bit extra on the end. I'll show you why you need that in just a minute. So what you need to do is you need to do this. This is going to be the top flap. So you can just fold over. That's how big it's going to be for mine. Yours can be bigger, it can be smaller, either one. You want it to overhang this about 2 inches, at least. Maybe 3. This is about 2.5, so I'm good. And then what you're going to want to start doing is you're going to want to get the leather again. And we're going to make some lace. We're going to set this to the side, and we're going to get this leather, and we're going to make some lace. If you already have leather lace, you can use that, but for this I'm going to just cut some to show that it can be done. It's not the best thing, but it can be. So you want to do is you want to get like a little bit in between the edge, and you want to start cutting a thin strand of leather. Not too thin that it will rip though, but not very thick. And you want a lot of it. I have now cut out a ton of lace, but it has a lot of jagged edges like this. We do not want this when we're sewing our bag together. So what you want to do is you want to make it all about an even thickness, and you want to trim all the jagged edges. I now finished cutting all the jagged edges on my lace. And that's what all these scraps are, so I'm going to push those to the side. Then we need to bring back the actual bag pieces. And we're going to get the hole punch, and we're going to start punching holes. So there's two different ways to stitch it. One way is you can go over, under, And then a different ways you can go around in circles. If you do that, you can't put fringe on the end, which is the stringy things on the end of leather bags. I'm gonna do over under because I like it better, and you can do it either way. So we're gonna get the hole punch, and we're going to punch a hole right at the top next to the corner right here, right next there, and punch it. Make sure they're where you want them. Then pull them out. Make sure the holes stay aligned. You want the holes to stay aligned so it's not uneven when you sew it. Then, like an inch down, I'd say, punch another hole. And then just repeat this process. So now I have punched every hole that I need. This is not by template, this is your personal preference. You can have more or less. But now you need to line up them all. And you can start from either side. I'm gonna start from this side. And you need to go grab your lace. You need to cut a thin edge so it can fit through your hole. And then you start. I'm doing over under as I said before. Either one you do is to preference, either stitch. And I will be back once I finish part of it. So now I've gone down the entire one side of our bag, and I stopped it here because I want to talk about this. You don't want to do the round sewing if you want fringe. Fringe is just decoration on the bottom, or yeah, the bottom most of the time. It looks pretty cool. You don't want to do round sewing if you want that though. And yeah, let's just keep going from here. I have now finished sewing the bag, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the leather scissors and go down to the bottom and start making these little flaps. This is the fringe, this is the decoration of this bag, and then we will add the button to close the bag. A strap is really easy. I'm not going to add it though because I don't want to. Now we're going to make the button for our leather bag. What we need is we need a long strip of leather that's fairly thick like this. We need to roll it up so we can make the button, because you can't just make a button out of a flat piece of leather. You need to roll it up, or else it's just gonna be a leather strap, which is not what we need. Okay, now I have this. Now I'm going to find the place. Okay, I'm gonna explain it better. So there's this edge right here. We need to sew it, this part to this part, so it doesn't come undone. Because if we don't, it's just going to come undone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark right there with the scissors, not cut through it, just kind of mark it. Mark each part with the scissors, and then I'm going to hole punch 2 punches in each marked area. What you can use to also mark it is a piece of chalk. You can't use anything else to mark leather. That just doesn't work out. Okay, I punched the 2 holes. So now I have 4 holes on it like this. What we're going to get is we're going to roll it up again. A lot of rolling up. It sounded really weird saying that out loud. Roll, roll, roll. I did it too loose. If you do it too loose, then it's not going to line it up. You have to do it just how you rolled it before, else it's not going to line up perfectly. There we go. Okay, so now that you have the two holes, you're going to sew it together, and I will be right back after I do that. Once you've sewed the button like this, you're going to want to find where you need to put it on the bag for it to close good. So I want it to close like this, so I'm going to make sure the button goes right here. I'm going to use the scissors to mark it again. Like that. And then right there I'm going to punch a few holes. I punched some holes, and now I am going to sew that on with a little extra thread that we had. The button is now sewed on like this. This is what our bag looks like. It's now sewed on. Now I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to fold it over. And you're going to feel where the button is. You can see it right here. And you're going to cut a small little hole for the button to go through. This is so it stays closed fairly tight and doesn't come undone easily. And this is so you can actually close the bag without it just flapping open. Cut it big enough to fit the side of the button, not the entire button, through just the side, so it will actually lock. Because if it's bigger than the entire part of the button, then it's not going to stay closed. Now that we've done that, this is our bag. Thank you for joining me today on my video and watching my video the entire way. And I'll do more projects like this in the future. Please subscribe and comment down below what projects I should do next. And I'll see you next time on Cubby Creates.